This is Venice, the water city built by the ancient Romans over 1,000 years ago. More than 1,000 years ago, the ancient Romans built Venice by inserting wooden piles into the soft marshy ground, allowing tens of thousands of houses to stand firmly above the sea surface. But how was this accomplished? In the year 452 AD, to escape the invasion of barbarians, Roman refugees were compelled to relocate to the geographically intricate area of Venice. The lagoon area, with its muddy banks and marshes, could resist cavalry but had soil unsuitable for long-term habitation. To address this challenge, people felled large quantities of timber from nearby forests and drove each wooden pile into the muddy soil to a depth of 5 meters, arranging them closely together to form a solid foundation. Wooden planks were laid horizontally and vertically on top to disperse the load and ensure each pile bore an even share of weight. Taking into account tidal heights, multiple layers of stones were laid over the planks, securing a robust foundation. This method effectively isolated the structures from the surrounding air and prevented them from rotting due to immersion in seawater. Initially, houses were constructed from wood, which proved vulnerable to tidal erosion and fire. Consequently, builders switched to bricks. To reduce foundation stress, all buildings were limited to a maximum of 3 stories, using lightweight and flexible lime mortar instead of cement. Even during earthquakes, walls could slightly sway with ground movements, preventing collapse. Internal partitions were reinforced with wooden boards, and several iron rods were fixed at the junctions of floors to increase overall structural stability. As more islands around Venice were densely populated with houses, living conditions improved. Initially, crossing was by boats and horses, but economic development necessitated a more convenient solution. Engineers decided to construct stone bridges, using the same method as building houses, driving numerous wooden piles into riverbanks before constructing stone piers and main sections on top. Thus, stone arch bridges gradually spread across Venice's waterways, connecting hundreds of islands. Today, these arch bridges still stand tall. As Venice is surrounded by seawater, fresh water had to be transported from surrounding land. With population growth, the city faced water shortages. To resolve this, engineers dug a large pit in spacious squares, applying waterproof clay to its walls. They then constructed a well shaft in the center using bricks and filled the pit with gravel, surfacing it with marble blocks. Around the well, several drains were installed in depressions to channel rainwater into the well after passing through fine sand filtration, solving the city's drinking water problem. As the city rapidly developed, the garbage problem worsened. Engineers installed sewage pipes inside each building to directly discharge waste into canals. Solid waste accumulated at the bottom, washed back into the pipes during high tides, and carried away into the canals. Until the 20th century, with the rise of the Industrial Revolution and global warming causing melting ice caps and rising sea levels, Venice increasingly faced flooding disasters. Engineers launched the Moses Project, an anti-flooding initiative installing 78 movable floodgates at 3 main estuaries. When water levels reached the alert line, these flood barriers could be raised in just 30 minutes, effectively protecting the city from flood invasion. Through these gradual technological breakthroughs, Venice, a world-renowned architectural marvel, was successfully completed, a city built upon water.